So we move on to confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Tate. Councillors, are there any questions or debate? Councillor Mayne.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. It's more of a clarification through you. Just going back through the minutes. I know we don't keep a Hansard record of the minutes. Going back through the live recording of the extraordinary meeting in December now, some time back, at about the 54th, 55th minute, I did raise a point of order, and then I took that into a dissension when I didn't believe it had been heard. I'm just wondering what the status of that is within our minutes, please. Yeah, point of order. Point of order.
No, there is no point of order.
Point of order. Dissension. Dissension. Point of order. Dissension. You need to hear me, Councillor Pollock. You just. I know
I've just heard.
Practice.
Absolutely. So I'll hand over to our General Manager to give you some clarity around that, Councillor Mayne.
Thank you.
And through the Mayor. So thank you, Councillor Mayne. Just a bit of a context. So just again to reiterate, the council meetings are the formal process for making decisions, and the decisions of council are therefore recorded in the minutes. As you've mentioned, we, unlike other levels of government, we do not undertake a Hansard, which is a transcript of the proceedings. However, as you'd be aware, we do have a webcast which does indicate and show the full discussion debate of the council. We have gone back to the webcast to have a look, as you recommended, Councillor Mayne, and the words of the chair was that there was no point of order. So as there was no point of order ruled by the chair, it is not in the minutes. And just to reiterate, our minutes are absolutely undertaken within the Code of Meeting Practice, which of course is stipulated by the Office of Local Government. So this has been the process that we have used in the past. So as the chair indicated that there was no point of order, it is not in the minutes.
Thanks. If I could just follow that up, Madam Mayor, just with the GM. Just a clarification, I suppose. When you look at the recording, I did raise a point of order. I don't believe I was given even the opportunity to explain what the point of order was. I'm just looking at the point of order under 15.3 of our code. I don't believe I was given the right of being able to articulate the point of order. When it wasn't heard, I then used what I think is my right as a councillor to a motion of dissent. Now that wasn't heard either. So whilst I appreciate we're not keeping a Hansard, I actually believe when you look at the minutes, they don't reflect the nature, maybe at times the robust nature of the debate. I get that, there's a bit of energy involved. But therefore, I'm uncomfortable with the minutes because I don't think they reflect actually what did occur. And I must admit, I take a slightly different view here. I think under point of order and motion of dissent, I wasn't given my right as a council on the day, and I think the minutes actually need to reflect that. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Mayne, and obviously you are aware that if you feel such that you do have the opportunity to vote against the minutes. However, I am absolutely of the view with the General Manager that it is the decisions of council that are recorded in the minutes, and that anybody who is so inclined can go and view the webcast.
Just a clarification of that, isn't the decision then of the Mayor or the Acting Mayor to not accept a point of order a part of the minutes in of themselves? Because then that's what triggers the motion of dissent. Just what ran the logic here. So then wouldn't you record that? Because either if you don't hold a point of order, the council has a right to raise a motion of dissent. So surely then the motion of dissent should have been heard. Now it wasn't. That was the Deputy Mayor's prerogative. I don't believe it was his right, but he did it. So I'm clearly trying to debate under the Act. I'm given this right as a councillor. Council's now saying those minutes would. I don't believe council can actually vote to move these minutes forward. I'd prefer to take further governance on this because I think this is problematic. Because I actually don't think I was given the right as a councillor to be heard in the debate on a rescission motion that I brought. And I'm really concerned that this is sending a poor example to our community that when you go against the numbers of the council, you get shut down.
Ah.
And also, he hasn't produced.
Councillor Main, my understanding is that it was the right of the chair to rule that there was no point of order. You may not like that, but I do not believe that the chair at the time did anything improper. However, you do always have the opportunity to raise a code of conduct if that is how you feel. But, you know, I don't believe that anything improper occurred through that meeting, but it is your right to first and foremost to vote against the minutes if you see fit, or to put a code of conduct in against the chair at the time. Councillor Nathan, you have a question or a comment?
A question, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like a little bit of clarification from either Dr. Dale or Kalpasanis. How long do the live streaming tapes stay available for people to go back to look at the history of our meetings?
7 years, Councillor Nathan. Sorry, Councillor Nathan, they stay on the public record for 7 years. And that's under the state regulations. Yeah. Councillor Main, and then Councillor Main.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Just through you, this is really, it is for real clarification here because I fail to understand the distinction that's being drawn when two of my colleagues, Councillor Constable and McGinlay, raised points of order early in the same meeting. Those points of order weren't heard, weren't accepted. Then a dissension motion was raised and that was then voted on. So here I raised a point of order, it wasn't accepted. I then raised a dissension motion, but it's not heard. How's the council accepting that two variances on the same meeting? I think that's I think that needs some real clarification. Again, how are we, I don't want this council to be accused of running two standards. So I think on the
Good one. Good one, Anthony.
Councillor May, it remains the right of the chair. And I'll say to you again, you have two options, and I've clearly articulated those. They are the options that are ahead of you. Councillor McGinley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I've mentioned this before informally. I can't check my minutes because I can't get through the hub to the councillor's version of the agenda, so I'm on the public agenda at the moment. But basically, earlier I mentioned that in my reading of the minutes, at least one of the points of order raised, I believe it was my point of order raised, makes it into the minutes, but Councillor Constable, who virtually simultaneously at the same time also raised a different point of order, the record of his point of order does not appear, or vice versa. I know there's only one, but I know there were 2 points of orders raised. I'm just wondering, have the minutes been amended to reflect that?
Sorry. No, the minutes are not amended to reflect that, Councillor McGinley. And unfortunately, if you councillors were aware that you had issues with the minutes an hour before a council meeting, probably isn't the time to raise this, as our minutes secretary did not have the chance to go through the whole transcript, but went to the point in question, and we have given you clear advice on that. So, councillors, again, I will clearly state to you, you have the choice to vote against the minutes, and that is the option that's available to you at the moment. Councillors, are there any further questions or debate? I'll put the matter to the vote. Councillors, all in favour? Councillors in favour are Councillor Nathan, myself, Councillor Innes, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Tate, Councillor Pollock and Councillor Brown. Councillors against? Councillors against are Councillor Mayne, Councillor Constable, Councillor McGinley. Motion's carried. Thank you, councillors.